what is there in FPS system, CGS system, MKS system and SI system. Previously I have told you that mainly we are going to use three fundamental physical quantities that are mass, length and time. Okay, so we will see more in detail how this system of units basically works. So first system of unit that we have studied is FPS. Here F stands for foot, and foot is used to measure distance, which is nothing but length. So foot is used to measure length. Pound, which is as a symbol of LB. LB is a symbol for foot, it is FT. So pound is used to measure mass, and second is used to measure time. So in FPS system, foot for length, pound for mass and second for time. In CGS system again, centi is used to measure length. We call it as centimeter. We'll see in the coming slides what does that centimeter mean or it does imply. Next is mass. So here mass is measured in grams and time is measured in seconds, right? Then in MKS system, or we also referred it as metric system, in this metric system mass is meter, distance is measured in meters. M stands for meter, so distance is measured in meters, which is nothing but length, fundamental physical quantity. The second physical quantity is mass. So K stands for kilogram, and kilogram is a unit which is used to measure mass. Similarly, second, S stands for second. Time, it is used to measure time, fundamental physical quantity. And the third one as international system. International system is same as MKS system. So this metric system is also referred as international system of units. Length here is measured in meter. Mass, a fundamental physical quantity, is measured in kg. Sorry. And time is measured in second. So as you can see, in all the four system of units, only three fundamental physical quantities are measured. First one is length, mass and time, right? But these three fundamental physical quantities are measured using different systems. So for example, here in FPS system, length is measured in foot. Okay, and then in CGS system same thing is measured in centimeter. MKS or and SI system, length is measured in meter. Similarly, mass, if you see, in FPS system mass is measured in pound, in CGS system mass is measured in grams, and in MKS system or SI system of units, mass is measured in kilogram. And if you could properly go through if you properly go through all the four system of units, you will see that time in all the four systems, they are measured only in seconds. So so time in all the system of units, they are measured in a same system, right? In same units, actually seconds. But there is a change with a length is measured in different terms or units, and here mass is also measured in different units. So be very careful and remember, time is the only fundamental physical quantity which has same unit in all the systems or unit system, right? Then what is next thing we'll discuss is multiples and submultiples. So what is multiple and submultiple, right? For that you should remember that these units which we have used in MKS system and SI system, these are standard units. For example, let's say if I'm measuring a length of a stick in meters, then that stick could be, let's say for example, if I want to measure the size of an ant. So ant is smaller than the standard unit. Length is a standard unit or international unit that is used worldwide. But if I want to measure very small things, then small things are even smaller than the international or standard units. For example, size of an ant, we have taken an example. But if I want to measure length of a road, okay, how much far that distance is, how much distance is there between my house and your house, so then we cannot use it with the help of scale. Okay, so using scale, if we start measuring the distance between my house and your house, it will take us 1 month, or maybe few weeks actually to get up. So there are some distances which are bigger than the standard units, and there are some distances or lengths quantities which are smaller than the standard units, right? So how do we measure these smaller units and bigger units, right? So if we want to measure the size of an ant, we have to use factors, that means, or which is known as submultiples. So submultiples, they are used to measure distances which are smaller than the standard units, and multiples, as you will see, they are used to measure distances or units which are greater than the standard unit. So if we have to measure a bigger distance, a larger distance from my house to the school, or maybe to your college, then that will be bigger than the distance on the system units placed on our scale. So when we want to measure bigger distances, bigger than the standard system of unit, greater than standard unit, we use multiples. What are multiples? Multiples are nothing but standard units. Okay, standard unit, for example meter, if I multiply that meter with 10, so 10 times of a meter, or 20 times of a meter, or maybe 100 times of a meter, so what we do, we multiply meter with some number. Those numbers, they are called factors, and all these numbers that we use to measure bigger distances, they have their names actually. So first example, for example, if we multiply meter with a value of a 10, so 10 times of 1 meter, so this 10 or 10 to the power 1, we call it as deca. So deca means 10 to the power 1. If you multiply meter with 10 to the power 2, so then this 10 to the power 2 is called hecto. Then similarly 10 to the power 3 multiplied to meter. Meter is the standard unit, because the distance we are measuring is bigger than the standard unit. We are multiplying it with some number. This number is known as a factor. So 10 to the power 3 is a factor. This is called multiple factor. Okay, so factors here, they are called multiple factors because they are helping us to measure the bigger units, bigger than the standard unit. Okay, so we have 10 to the power 3 is called kilo, and 10 to the power 6 is known as mega, 10 to the power 9 is called giga, 10 to the power 12 is known as tera. So multiples, again, the multiples we use to measure bigger distances, which is bigger than the system of international system of units that everyone follows. Okay, so and also remember 10 to power 1 means, if you see 10 here, so that is called a deca. 10 to the power 2 in multiple, it is known as hecto. 10 to power 3 is kilo. These are called prefixes. These are called prefixes because it is coming before meter. Okay, and if something is coming after meter, we will call it as a suffix. Prefix means pehle, or suffix means baad mein, because these factors, name of these factors we are using before meter, meter से पहले, तो therefore we also call it as prefixes. So for 10 times of a meter, this 10 is known as deca, 10 to the power 2 hecto, 10 to power 3 kilo, 10 to power 6 is mega, and 10 to power 9 has a prefix of giga, and 10 to power 12 is known as tera. So, and then what does this giga, tera, deca means basically? If from mathematical point of view, 10 to the power 1 is nothing but 10. So that 10 is known as deca, 100 is known as hecto, 1000 or 10 to the power 3. This 10 to the power 3 implies what? That 1 has got 3 zeros in front of it. Okay, if you see here, 1 has only one zero in front of it, so 10 to the power 1. Because 1 has two zeros here, so 10 to the power 2, 3 zeros, 10 to power 3, and 10 to power 6 means 1 with 6 zeros in front of it, right? So 10 is deca, 100 is hecto, 1000 is kilo, and 10 to power 6 or 100,000 is nothing but mega, right? So if you have heard of distance measured in, the distance on road you would have heard is in kilometers. So kilo is nothing but a prefix, okay, prefix with a meter, that is 10 to power 3 meter. So 1000 meter is nothing but 1 kilometer, okay, and 100 meter is nothing but 1 hectometer. So like that. And then this is for measuring bigger distances, right? Multiples, they are used to measure bigger distances. And then submultiples, they are used to measure smaller distances. Same like previous case, what we will do is we will multiply standard unit with some factor, some value, some number. That value is known as a factor. Here, because we are measuring smaller distances, sub means smaller. Okay, smaller multiple factors will be using. Okay, so for example, to measure a very small distance, that is 10 to power minus 1 meter, is known as deci. So 10 to power minus 1 is known as deci, 10 to power minus 2 centi, 10 to power minus 3 is called milli. On your scale, a scale that we use in school, we have distances starting from centimeter. Okay, so centi means what? 10 to the power minus 2 multiplied to the meter. Okay, that means meter divided by 100. 1 meter divided by 100 is called centi. 1 meter divided by 1000 is called milli. Similarly, we have micro. We also have nano, means 10 to power minus of 9, and then 10 to power minus 12 is called pico. There are more. There is something called Fermi, and there are so many.